versus Gamera animations on this channel before, but today we've got one that looks completely real, at least from the thumbnail. I haven't seen the video yet, but from the thumbnail, it looks like he's in the MonsterVerse. Now, I'm hoping that the video looks just as good as the thumbnail, but we'll see. It is by UE's VFX. And let's see, bro. It looks absolutely insane from the thumbnail. If you haven't yet, scroll down for me, hit that subscribe button, and hit that like button. This is a fan-made animation, bro. Nothing you see right now is like an actual movie or in the MonsterVerse. But to me, from the thumbnail, what am I looking at right now? Okay, that looked fan-animated, but that's okay because look what's going on here. Look at that Godzilla's face, bro. And this was 2 whole years ago, by the way. That looks so good. And I'm imagining this is Gamera, right? Bro, shout out to UE's VFX. With the Gamera versus Godzilla that we've needed in the MonsterVerse. It'd be so sick to actually see this. I would just like to see Gamera in the MonsterVerse. Bro, it looks so good. Like, I would think this is a movie, or like on Netflix or something like that. Like I said, shout out to UE's VFX. That is amazing, bro. Fan art of Godzilla vs. Gamera. We got one more video to go to, though. And it is by Dangerville. And this one, it fits perfectly with this video. This is like, what if Gamera was in the MonsterVerse?
Friend to all children, guardian of the universe.
Imagine seeing that happening in the MonsterVerse.
Created by Daiei to act
that would
as
be
a
hilarious.
rival to Toho's own Godzilla. It started out as a villain of his own story before evolving to become a guardian and ally to humanity, protecting us from all sorts of aliens and monsters.
Bro, I'd love to see all the old monsters in today's MonsterVerse.
Gamera starred in 12 feature films, with the last one, Gamera the Brave, releasing 16 years ago, all the way back in 2006.
The turtle.
So, where has this kaiju been? And could he ever make an appearance in the MonsterVerse?
I think he could.
Well,
I think it would be a good addition.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, certainly tells us that could happen.
Wait, what?
So, let's take a look at whether Gamera would work.
Was he in Godzilla, King of the Monsters? If he was, I didn't see it. I did not see it one bit. If you haven't yet, like I said, scroll down for me. Hit that like button and that subscribe button.
Before we discuss how he could work
Let's
in
get
the
into
MonsterVerse,
this.
Let's take a look at this classic kaiju. First
Classic,
appearing in 1965, a crashing plane detonates a nuclear bomb. The explosion awaits
that
a
is the most
giant
unlucky thing ever.
turtle with tusks. Gamera. Showa Gamera stands at 197 feet tall and weighs a measly 80 metric tons.
A measly.
Significantly lighter than Showa Godzilla, who weighs 20,000 tons.
Jeez, okay,
Gamera
maybe it is
proceeds
measly.
to lead a path of destruction, sinking an expedition vessel and destroying a thermonuclear power plant.
Bro, the old movies are so funny to go back and watch.
Tokyo, wreaking havoc on Japan.
I just watched the Godzilla one the other day.
It's discovered that the kaiju consumes flame.
It's so cool to see how far they've come.
Material and even lava, all to generate thermal
with just
energy
movies in general.
that sustains his bodily functions and abilities. One such ability being flight. By retracting his limbs and head,
I like the way he
jets
flies.
shoot from his body.
It's
and
like a
it
UFO.
spins as it takes flight. This led people to believe
A
that
UFO
Gamera
turtle.
was initially a flying saucer. Another ability is the flame breath. This can be used to destroy
Flame breath is kinda
anything
sick
within
too.
the vicinity of the blast. In an attempt to stop the monster, the JSDF, United States, and the Soviet Union worked together to conjure up a plan to launch Gamera
however you
into
want to call this name.
space. By using fire, they were able to bait Gamera into the rocket, trapping him inside, before taking off, shooting him out the atmosphere
extra slow
on
if
a
that
one-way
worked.
ticket to Mars. which saved Japan and the world from any more of Gamera's onslaught.
Can't he just fly, though?
Celebrations would be short-lived, though,
Yeah.
as the rocket
That's what I'm
carrying
saying.
Gamera was struck by a meteor, destroying the rocket and
Struck
freeing
by
the
a
monster,
meteor?
leaving him to fly back to
That's
Earth.
the most unlucky scenario
The rest of the
ever.
Showa series has Gamera encounter various different monsters.
That
such
had to
as
been like 1 in
Barugon,
trillions.
Not to be confused by Baragon, a four-legged reptilian beast with spikes protruding down its back and a large horn growing from its nose. Another monster, Gaios, a species of large vampire bat-like
See, I'm
kaiju,
trying to see
would
all these
become
monsters,
Gamera's
man,
arch
in
nemesis,
today's
appearing
MonsterVerse.
in 5 of his 12 films.
He was in
One of
12
his most
movies?
bizarre enemies, Guiron, looks like a large sword. This
What?
film was actually my first introduction to the series, so you can imagine my reaction when I saw this scene.
Not the turtle
I
on the
was
pull-up
instantly
bar.
hooked. Gamera would fight an array of monsters throughout the Showa series, and with each entry saw the monster become more and more of a friend to humanity, where by its
That's so
7th
funny,
entry,
bro.
had
I'm gonna go back and
Gamera
watch
coming
these.
to the rescue of children from alien invaders. It's
Savage.
safe to say Gamera had quite the tonal shift throughout the years.
So if he's
but
saving-
the biggest change would happen.
I feel like
in
Gamera would be friends with
1995,
Godzilla now.
when the series
'Cause Godzilla
entered
kinda protects.
a new era.
And obviously, they
Inspired by
can
the Heisei
make him look a
era
lot
of
better
Godzilla
now.
films, Daiei entered the fray with their own series of Gamera films, this time being much darker, grittier, with groundbreaking new special effects that even Godzilla had a tough time competing with.
Oh, really?
Heisei Gamera is slightly
The
larger,
groundbreaking
standing
effects.
80 meters tall and weighs 120 metric tons. Being given a new,
pretty
more
heavy.
detailed design, Gamera became a sort of anti-hero, a monster that would save children from harm, but will still smash some buildings in the process.
Okay, that feels
There
like
are even
Godzilla.
those that view Gamera as an outright villain due to the collateral damage, which is explored in the third and
He's
final
being explained
Heisei
exactly
film,
like Godzilla.
Gamera 3, Revenge
That scene was
of
from
Iris.
-1. It looked
His
the
origin
exact
has
same.
also been altered, this time
Maybe
being
that's where they
a
got that
guardian
from.
monster genetically engineered by an ancient civilization that spawned the myth of Atlantis. A radical change from his simple prehistoric
watch
monster
these, bro.
origins from the Showa era. Heisei Gamera is extremely powerful. He's extremely capable in close
Heisei
combat,
Gamera.
is able to spit plasma fireballs, regenerate wounds at extreme speeds, and even has an ultimate plasma attack that fires from his chest.
Ultimate
which was used
plasma
to destroy
attack?
Legion in Gamera 2. But that's it for the Heisei era.
That's sick.
What about the Millennium?
What about the MonsterVerse? See, that's what we need,
Well,
bro.
there's only one film here, Gamera the Brave, which was released in 2006. Not connected to any of the
I didn't know it was
previous
that
Gamera
recent.
films, this story sets up its own continuity where
2006,
Gamera
so the
sacrificed
effects weren't
himself
that bad.
to kill a flock of Gaios in 1973. 30 years later, an egg is found which turns out to be the reincarnation of Gamera, who
That's
grows
sick.
up to become a defender of humanity, thwarting an attack from Zeus.
All right, there's another
a
movie I gotta
bipedal,
watch.
Dinosaur-like creature who came ashore to feed on mankind. So, with
Yeah,
Gamera
you can
the
tell it got
Brave
a little
being
better with the
last film in
graphics
the
and
series
whatnot.
to release,
Still not
where does that
MonsterVerse-like,
leave
but,
us
you know.
now? There were reports of a new Gamera film being made in 2015.
That
with
would
a
have been
proof of
sick.
concept trailer being leaked that showcased an entirely CGI Gamera blasting a swarm of Gaios out of the sky. This trailer was super impressive and got us all hyped to see a new iteration of the Guardian of the Universe.
See, I would love to see
But
that.
this unfortunately never came to fruition. So,
The movie just
will
never
this
came
kaiju
out?
ever see a return to the silver screen? Well, if you look closely
Come
at
on
this
now.
Godzilla King of the Monsters concept art, you can actually see Gamera
I've never seen it.
sneakily hidden in the corner. Could this mean the kaiju is being considered to make an appearance in the Legendary series? Well, it's hard to say.
Maybe one day,
Concept art
maybe in
often
this next
features
Godzilla X
placeholder
Kong.
imagery, as you can also see
Probably not,
Final
but-
Wars Gigan is even present in a similar piece of concept art. But this definitely tells us that Gamera was on the minds of those that made the films. Godzilla and Gamera have been competitors in the Japanese movie monster market for decades, so it only makes sense for them to meet in a new installment.
Someday, man.
Which
Someday.
got me thinking, how would Gamera be handled if it were to appear in the MonsterVerse? What could his origin be? Well,
I
it would
love the
probably have
origin
more in
monster
common with
stories.
the Showa iteration of the character, being a prehistoric animal that feeds on the Earth's natural resources and radiation. This may point to Godzilla and Gamera's species encountering
That's the
each
video
other
we just watched
thousands
right
or
there.
even millions of
Great
years
video.
ago. Gamera's species, being natural protectors,
I didn't know that
dislike
was actually in this video.
Godzilla's
That's funny.
rule and would face off against each other for leadership. Since we finally see the Hollow Earth in Godzilla vs. Kong, this opens up countless opportunities
Nah, he wasn't
to
in
explore
Godzilla vs.
monsters
Kong.
and civilizations never before discovered.
But since
The
we see,
explorers
yeah,
quickly
might open up
encounter
some
the
doors.
Worbats, huge flying snake-like creatures, so it could be more than likely that somewhere in the Hollow Earth lives Gamera, the last of his
I
kind,
like that.
who fled after his species were hunted down by Godzilla's kind. It could even
Okay, so they
incorporate
wouldn't be
elements
friends.
from the Atlantean origin
Never
of
mind.
the Heisei era, where ancient humans cared for Gamera's
Definitely not
species
friends.
before their civilization fell to the ocean depths within the Hollow Earth. This could even connect with the fallen city we see in King of the Monsters, and could derive from warring human factions.
What about the city in
with some
Godzilla
that
X Kong?
worshipped Godzilla and some that worshipped Gamera. If the next
I don't
Monsterverse
know.
entry does end up being the rumored
Could be.
Kong film, the story could be centered around him searching the Hollow Earth for other members of his species, something that was hinted at in Godzilla vs. Kong. He could then come across Gamera, who, as a natural protector and the last of his kind, has taken up duties as the guardian of the last remaining members
I like the
of
theory.
Kong's species. This would allow Gamera to be introduced in a faithful fashion as a vastly different kind of monster to both Kong and Godzilla, allowing him to stand out amongst the crowd.
I like it, bro. That is the end of this video. Let me know in the comments who you think would win, Godzilla or Gamera in the Monsterverse. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching with me. I love ya. Goodbye.